everybody. Welcome back to the Hockey Muck Vlog. I'm Jeff.
I'm Alex.
And today we're going to talk to you about riding in spring/fall, mainly fall because that's the time of year we're in New England. I feel like I'm kind of far away from you. Hey, bud. Oh, I see how it is. So, like we've said before on the channel, we're near Cape Cod, Massachusetts. So we get about 5.5, 6 months to a riding season until it becomes colder weather.
Unless we get really lucky weather.
Which we did a few years ago, and we were both able to ride Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. It was like 60, 65 degrees. However, when the leaves start to change, the weather starts to change. So today's video is going to be a little how we prepare for cold weather. So I mentioned in a previous video, I went on vacation to Tennessee, and one thing I noticed is everybody down there wears and packs rain gear. I personally don't own rain gear. Yeah, he doesn't own rain gear.
Which would have helped me on Saturday, but
yeah,
whatever.
So the big thing with that is we prepare a little differently because we do get the colder temperatures. So as you can see behind us, my 2011 Road Glide. One thing I have is metal handguards. I actually ran these on my Dyna and went with the same company for the Road Glide, and they help tremendously. But that's one of many small things that we do to prepare for cold weather. So let's start with footwear. I always wear boots when I ride.
Same.
One thing I have done is doubled up my socks, or I will wear insulated boots, but usually your toes still get a little cold, but there's not much you can really do for your feet. A friend of mine who rides all year round, one thing he does is he has electric socks, which I think is a little nuts. They're battery powered, but hey, whatever works for him. He also has other electric gear. So he rides a older Softail, Heritage Softail with bags and a windshield. He has like a heated vest or jacket, gloves. I know he has the gloves for sure. I know he upgraded to a jacket, and he's like, yeah, dude, it's great. So that is one option. But what I personally prefer to do is I'll wear work boots, which I always wear. I will go with an insulated pair of pants, which I get at Walmart for work, which makes it so I don't really have to wear thermals. And just kind of throw some layers on, t-shirt, hoodie, jacket, so on and so forth. So, kind of a little bit of reason behind this video is we went for a ride last week, or 2 weeks ago now, and the temp kind of dropped, but not really. It wasn't anything horrendous, but it was enough to, I had just a Dixon flannel on, where if we were further away from home than we really were, I was kind of wishing I had more gear, which is why we're doing this video. So, besides heated gear, which neither of us have, I actually have the plugs on my bike to run heated gear. I choose not to because it's just expensive. But this is just what I do, what works for me, and a little bit what works for him. So one tip I learned a long time ago from an older biker is if you find yourself in the doctor's office, or you can get the surgical gloves pretty much anywhere now, put those on and then a pair of leather gloves over them, your hands will actually end up sweating. It's a really neat trick. Works great in a pinch for when it's super cold. The doctor rubber gloves, we'll call them just rubber gloves, still give you full dexterity of your fingers, so you can pull in the clutch, manipulate all your controls.
You put them on any time of year, your hands are going to pour sweat.
That's true too. And then the leather gloves over it, the leather breaks the wind. So that's that. So like I said, mentioned pants. Upper body, I have a company, local, they have now shut down. They still go to the Big E, and I think a couple of the major bike rallies. I know they're at Laconia, called Walter Dyer Leather. I bought one of their jackets 6-7 years ago, and it's managed to still fit me after all these years. It has a zip out liner, works really, really well in the cold weather. So that's personally what I do. And as far as like face and eyes, I always wear a full face helmet. So I just shut the vents, or I will crack the helmet into city mode, they call it, where it just cracks and just where you get a little bit of fresh air. So what do you do for cold weather?
Well, as you said, I don't have any heated or rain gear. Mainly, I just layer up.
Okay.
Bring 1 or 2, maybe even 3 sweaters with you. I mean, 3's a little overkill, but helps.
Because you don't have a jacket, do you?
No, working on that.
Okay.
I don't have leathers at all. Yeah, just start working on that.
So I will mention that I do own a pair of chaps. Funny story about them. I've worn them once on a ride in my life. It was about this time of year, quite a few years ago, when I had a Road King, which is a previous bike I owned, and I was leaving Cape Cod down in Mashpee at a buddy's house and rode to this general area. And the temperature when we got down there was like mid 60s. It was beautiful. When I went to leave, it dropped to like 42, which felt freezing cold. So I ended up throwing those on, and I got over the bridge, was up near Middleborough, Carver area, and then I started to sweat. I actually had to pull over, take them off, and I was a lot more comfortable on the ride. So another thing with cold weather, and this is something to think about in the future for anybody that's in this area, is it's great when you leave and it's a high of 68, 72. You always have to look at the nighttime temp, because we've all been there. Something can happen, whether you break down or you have some kind of mechanical failure,
Or just lose track of time.
or maybe you're at your favorite local watering hole and a football team might be on and they're doing 25-cent wings, and you could care less about football, but chicken wings are life, and you're devouring a bunch of them, and then you go to walk outside and it is dark. So one thing Massachusetts does participate in is daylight savings. So in a couple weeks, it's actually going to happen where instead of being, I think this is technically normal right now.
Yeah, it'll go back an hour.
Yeah, spring forward, fall back. So we're going to lose an hour of daylight, but it's going to be lighter longer. It's really dumb and confusing, to be honest with you.
It's weird because it's not lighter longer.
Yeah, it really isn't. They did it for something for farmers and I guess school kids now. But anyway, so what ends up happening is you're out and about, and mainly October, November, around 5:15, 5:30 at night, it's dark, and now you're night riding. So that's kind of the point of this video. We want to touch about a little bit what we do in cold weather. In my saddlebags, I usually always keep my leather vest, which is worth its weight in gold. If you don't have one, I suggest looking into something of that style, because if you can keep this part of your body, the core, warm, you're all set riding. Your arms get cold, your hands get cold, but you don't really think about it because your chest is staying warm. I also keep, now I've put my jacket in there. I haven't thrown the chaps in there because I refuse to. Those end up actually might going in there at some point. Who knows?
Just for now, with the passenger, it takes up too much space.
This is true. Having a passenger bring their stuff, which I'm not talking shit by any means. It's just a true fact. You're now packing for 2 people instead of 1. But the other big thing too, I will throw out there about riding cold is always stay prepared, because the last thing I'm going to leave is a little thing that happened to me. Besides the chaps day, I was out riding. This is when I had a Sportster. So it was like the first 2 years of riding. Me and a friend of ours left out. We were riding all day, and we ended up either in Scituate or Cape Cod. I can't remember because they're both really similar. They're just really different places. And the temp dropped on us to where it was about 72, and we were kind of sweating a little bit sitting in the sun, till we went to leave where we were to ride home, which was about an hour and a half away, and the temp dropped to like low to mid 50s. And I had a thin sweatshirt. Hi, Mr. Bug. A thin sweatshirt, and I froze my ass off on the way home, and I remember saying to myself, I will never do this again. So, if you have any questions, comments, if you have some gear you like, might be heated, that we should check out, or if you have rain gear that we should check out, let us know down in the comments down below. If you haven't already, give our Instagram page, Hockomock Moto Vlog, a follow, and punch the bell notification, hit the like button, and until the next time, keep the rubber down, shiny up.